So for us to go ahead and get started, man, just I know you're a PC gamer. You're in the GTR or the GT racing chair, the computer
Oh yeah.
gaming chair. Just tell me a little bit about how you got into gaming, man.
I mean, as a kid, basically, like growing up, I didn't have, we didn't have like a console yet. I would get like those cheap, like Tetris-like game things. They'd be like, "Oh, here, play Tetris or play cards or whatever,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'd play that, and then those were boring after a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like I wanted something that was a little bit more, interesting. And like all my friends had consoles, and I was like, well, like I would like one too, kind of thing. And I was like, well, I want to get this one. And so I got like the Game Boy first, was like my first one, the old school, the green screen one. That was like my very first one. Those, you could probably kill someone with one of those if you hit them hard enough. But they were sturdy, and what they used, like I think it was like 8 AA batteries. It was something stupid. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. Yeah,
And
yeah,
like I had, what was it? I got like Alfred Chicken and like Wario. What was it, Super Wario Land? It was like and I think it was only on Game Boy, but it was basically Mario but with Wario, and it was like the reverse, where it's like Wario is misunderstood as being evil, but he's just like, well, it's like what's his name? Superman, the other the alter Superman,
yeah. Okay.
Bizarro Superman.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Bizarro Mario, where it's like his world is a little different, where like he's still a good guy, but like he's weird, and he's got the like like, you know what I mean? He looks like a villain, but they're not like villain characters. So it's,
Anti-hero or something. Huh?
yeah, they're like the anti. So you still play through the same thing, and you have to like, rescue somebody and whatever. But I don't think it's a princess. I can't remember what it was. But Mario shows up at the end and like takes all the fame away from Mario. That's actually,
Really?
yeah. So it's like that's kind of the joke, where it's all like, that's like not even me. This is me. So it's kind of like Mario came and he's like, I won, I beat, It's like, oh, I finished the boss or the enemy, and Wario's just like, WTF? Like he's just kind of sitting there like, I just did that. I just did that. And then they get in an
Mm,
argument, and they're just kind of like, oh, Wario, why are you so mean? Like it's kind of like Wario's just like, why am I the butt of the joke? But like
yeah.
I used to play those games, and anything that was like, well, all of those were like, what do you call it? Like Zelda, you know what I mean? Just
Mm-hmm.
either top down or like, side scroll
Yeah.
adventure.
Metroid. Yeah.
Yeah, I played Metroid, and then got like advanced to Super Nintendo, and like that's where I played like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was like my favorite.
Oh man! Wow. Chrono Trigger, man. Wow, that game brings back memories, man.
Yeah,
That was a very good game.
I
That was a
still
very
remember
good
how you
game.
get Magus in your party. So it's like there's like a
Oh
whole thing that
really?
you have to do. Yeah, you have to like keep going back and forth between time before they built the Zentia or whatever the name, that bridge that
Mm-hmm.
connected from the monster world and like the human world.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to come back and like you fight with Magus basically, to be like, because the humans are jerks instead of the monsters being the jerks. And you have to do something in a specific time period, and then Magus will join your party. So it's
Wow.
like and it's funny because like you can go back in time and like redo specific things, and it's funny to go back in time with Magus in your party to fight Magus. So that's always a good one. But like, yeah, that was like those were my favorite games, and like I didn't have like play party games. I played like fighters and stuff just like on my own, but they would more or less frustrate the hell out of me. Like I used to, like, my favorite one wasn't Street Fighter, but it was
Wow.
whatchamacallit, it was Killer Instinct.
Oh
That was the one
yeah,
I used to
yeah.
like.
Glacius,
Yeah,
Fulgore, Jago. Yeah,
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 Fulgore was really good to use. They were a charge character, that's what I remember. I used to like
yeah, yeah.
the skeleton guy. Can't remember his name now.
Um, oh man, what was his name?
I'm not gonna
I
look it
know
up.
exactly who you're talking about. He would
Yeah,
copy other players'
yeah,
combos.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it was like,
yeah,
ah! Like that
yeah,
was his, like, every time he would
yeah.
attack with whatever.
The
Like he was
shield or
my
something. Yeah.
favorite character
He
because,
really
yeah,
your favorite?
that's my favorite character. Because
Really?
like
Okay.
I remember the combinations where because you started the sequence for him to go into that combo loop, instead of like most other games were like you do the combo like as you're doing it, where like Killer Instinct is you'd be like AABABAL like doing the thing, and like then it would go into a loop and like try to do the infinite combo.
Mm-hmm.
So like if
Mm-hmm.
you knew the infinite combo, like you could just start it off, and like I knew it for the skeleton guy, I knew it for Orchid, I knew it
Yeah,
for
everyone
Thor,
knew orchids. Yeah,
and then Cinder. I could start
Cinder.
off like
Yeah,
Cinder's was the easiest to do. I could start off like every single round of that match starting the infinite combo. So it's
really.
like you just have to do it real quick before like you
Mm.
can't move really. Like you literally have to do like really fast. And like then he'll like pull it off, and I would do that all the time. My friends would get so pissed off at me as I would do tournaments for that game.
Really?
We
Wow,
would
man.
actually, so we'd have like, we'd have the
Mm.
the marker board, right? We would just like write their name,
Mm-hmm.
or, well, what we were doing, like, instead of the marker board, we would do like pieces of paper. So we just saw
Mm-hmm.
like on the cork board, you just pin it. Who moves up, pin it. Like to do that, whoever wins is like, you get to talk crap on your friend for the rest of the week or whatever.
Yeah, thinking about it, man, that game was like pretty well balanced, man. Sabretooth was
Yeah.
awesome. I was
Oh yeah.
Fulgore and Glacius mains though. Jago, I couldn't
Both
really
charges.
use Jago that well,
Jago,
man.
he was like as easy as Cinder. You could pull off an infinite like really fast with both of
Really,
them.
with this little spin kick, yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't
well, it's the
really.
one where it's like he does the kick, he spin, and then he like will slowly do the thing where he turns around in a circle and hits you every time, and like he'll do that for like 20 iterations, and then finally do one where he hits you like way up in the air, and then it does like the what is it when you kill him off the map
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it'll immediately do that because it does. It was kind of like, if you think about it, it kind of had the same mechanics as whatchamacallit, as the Mario Smash Brothers, where it's like
Somewhat, yeah.
if you get the character down far enough, if you hit him past 0, you're doing negatives. So like it would be like in the negatives, it would be like, oh, if you're in the negatives, like I'll do the special move where you throw you off the map or you explode, like in whatchamacallit, when you would do the was it Mortal Kombat,
No,
when you do
yeah.
finish them, and you could like
Mm-hmm.
do your little combo real quick to do like the friendship or the whatever finisher and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I used to like doing friendship because it would piss people off. They're like, I want to see the gory one, and I was like, no, friendship, we're friends now. I win, but you're my friend. I'm still better than you.
You get to make that choice. So
Yeah.
what were you play? What did you play after that, man?
So like I went from Super Nintendo to like N64, and then
Okay.
I played what was it? I mean, I got Mario 64. That was the first one. I remember my mom
Mm,
stood in line at Target to get that, and she brought it home, and like I played that. I think I played that whole game, all, well, not like on. She did it on what was it? The Black Friday. They were when the Black
okay.
Friday things were going on. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I got that, like, since I'm Jewish, like Hanukkah I think fell pretty close into that time frame.
Okay.
So it was like it was like a Hanukkah gift also. So it's like I was playing it before my friends were playing it because they were waiting to get it for Christmas.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I already
Okay.
had it, and I was already playing it and spoiling it for everybody. And like I played that, and then Mario Kart for sure. Wave Race was my like another favorite one. I used to like, it was mostly adventure and racing games and
Okay.
fighting. Adventure,
Okay.
racing, and fighting. Like those are my three. Those are like the three defaults, but those are like always my three favorites.
Okay. 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 All right. All right, man. Now I know that you abandoned the consoles, man, and made your way over to PC. So, like, how did that transition take place?
God, let's see. I had a PlayStation and a Dreamcast, and the Dreamcast could go online. And at that point,
Hmm.
well, actually that was way before I had gotten PlayStation and stuff, because I had a computer that had DOS on it. So I was
Okay.
playing games on DOS, like while I still had like Super Nintendo and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then like I would play Doom. So it's like when I went to my grandmother's house, that's where the computer was. Like when I would go to my grandmother's house, like I would play on the computer there.
Mm,
And then like when I would go home, I'd have my consoles and I would just like play in my bedroom, like on my, TV and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And then I think like 1998. Yeah, 1998, I got like my first computer at my house. And then I think around, yeah, 98, because around that time, that's when PlayStation stuff was
Mm,
already out. Yeah. So I had that computer, and then I had Windows, and like I had AOL, and I could talk to people and stuff like that, and like I could play Doom and Quake and stuff online, and that was fun. And then there were like other computer games you could play with people, and like I slowly stopped playing console just because I could make friends and play games at the same time. And I was like, even to this day, like I'm pretty social, like passively social, like all day. I like want to talk with people, even though I complain like I don't have any personal time. Talk too much. But even as a kid, like I used to like to talk, and I didn't live near my friends, and I'm like, well, I can't play my video games with my friends, so I'm just gonna go online and meet new friends. And like then some of my friends like had AOL, or they had like their area had cable before me. And
okay.
so it's like, we started playing games online. Then we used to play Quake together. Then we were playing like, Half-Life and Counter-Strike and like Diablo and like all that kind of stuff together. And then I slowly just stopped playing console games unless there was like a specific game that came out that I really wanted to play. And what kind of drew me away from the computer again is when what was it, Final Fantasy Online came out for PlayStation 2.
Mm.
And PlayStation 2 is when I started gravitating back to the console because you could attach a USB keyboard to the
Oh,
PlayStation,
okay.
and you could chat with people. So I was like, all right, I still get to chat with people. Like, cool, I'm doing the thing that I still want to do. I want to talk to people.
Okay.
And then a lot of my friends also had PlayStation 2, and they had the game, so we'd all play together. So it's not like we're not missing out on anything, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're still like doing our thing. And
Mm.
and then it's just like after PlayStation 2, I just didn't get a console until PlayStation 3 came out, and I got PS3 like when it was halfway between its lifespan of being around.
Okay.
And I got that, and it was whatever. Like I played Street Fighter on there, and like I played a few other games and stuff like online, but just with friends only. I never like played, games where you would just hop in by yourself and play with a bunch of people. I'd rather go on the computer for that. But it was like I used to use it to watch DVDs, really, to be honest with you. That's why I bought it. And I was like, well, I could play games and watch DVDs, and literally it was the same price as a DVD player back then for a Blu-ray player. So it's like I was like, whatever, I'll buy it. And then
Yeah.
I got that, and
Mm.
same thing, just have it like the PlayStation 4. I just have it, but I don't use it because nothing on there is enticing for me. Like I could just play it on the computer pretty much. So it's like, and then I just, I just exclusively played computer games after that because it's like, man, I could spend like maybe double the price and like have something that I could really enjoy, like doing everything on schoolwork. But well,
Mm.
back then, schoolwork, video games, chatting with people, like learning how to like do computer related things and use that as like a television. Like it was a multifunction thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
with the console, it's like, I'm using like 25% of what could be is what I think of it.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. So it, it it to me it really sounds like you're a very social gamer. Is that, do you look at yourself as a social gamer? Like,
Yeah.
let me ask you, do you play a lot of single player games?
No,
Like
not
right
really.
now, most of your gaming is online.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
if you ask me right now, like what single player game are you playing? Let's see what am I even? I think I do have one, and I played it and just Star Renegades. That was one that
Star Renegades.
it's like one of those RPG types where it's like, then there's like the roguelike ones where it's just like you just keep
Mm.
leveling up until you die and you start all over again. That's kind of basically that format, which I hate. I cannot stand that. But the game, like the animation and the gameplay was really interesting, so I played that. There are some games that are like that, kind of like maybe more old school games, like how games were in like the 90s or the early 2000s. Like just the way they play out. Like I'll play those pretty consecutively alone.
Okay.
And that will be like I listen to music and put my headphones on and like then I'll just play like a game by myself. But I would say like 90% of the time I'm like playing games with other people or trying to get people to play a game with me. Like, oh, play this, it's really fun. You should play it. I'll buy it for you, no problem. Like it's on sale, whatever. So I'm trying to get a Green Hell, right? Green Hell is a survival open world, well, sort of open world, but like it's an open world on rails, I guess. So it's like, it's on sale like 30% off or whatever. So I put that on there like, oh, it's only 17.50. Like it's a really fun game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like doing that because it's more or less like I like to have someone else share in the fun and the frustration of
Okay.
whatever I'm doing. Like you're playing something, it's like, oh my God, this is garbage. You're like, right? Like I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not glad I'm not the only one that feels that way. We can
Yeah.
experience it together right now.
Yeah. So, with you being a very social gamer, because I know, we'll probably talk a little bit about your Discord. Do you, uh, as opposed to like, let's say the early mid 2000s, like that's really when I got into multiplayer online gaming and building connections and stuff. Do you think that it's easier now to connect and make friends gaming than it is back then?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, well, yeah, there actually, hold on. I think now it's more or less it's quantity over quality is what
Okay.
you get because like everybody can get online now and everybody
Mm-hmm.
can talk to
Mm-hmm.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of one of those things where it's like you'll be playing with someone, you're like, oh, this person's cool, and then all of a sudden they'll just start saying things that you're like, oh, wow. Whoa, that's okay. Well, that's refreshing to know that that's how you think. So we're gonna just end this right now. You know what I mean? Like, but I think back in the day, it was just like, oh, hey, someone out there online. I'm in Wisconsin. Like, oh wow, I'm in China. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, nice to meet you. Like, I think it was more like exciting to
Okay.
communicate with people
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Versus like, there's so many people everywhere using all the same things. It's like
Mm,
now you get
saturated.
to
Yeah.
yeah, you get to experience the saturation of that which is man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That
And
actually makes sense.
personalities.
Makes a lot of sense, man. Yeah. Right now, I mean, everything is online. You can make a social connection through just about anything.
Oh
Back
yeah.
then, it was like that was just getting started. MySpace is probably the thing that started it all. You know, like I said, I got started with multiplayer gaming in 2006. Like it was all foreign to me. I didn't
Yeah.
start with Halo. I wasn't playing any of that and stuff. It wasn't until I got the 360 that I started to build those connections.
Yeah.
So I always like try to wonder, like, is it easier now? Because I'll be honest, most of the people on my friends list, like, they're all gamers that I've played with for a long time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't really developed any new relationships. Like I'll join a party or I'll play a game, and you're only communicating with your party.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like, back then. Well, maybe that's the reason why. I don't think that they had a party system like when the 360 first started. So you're in a lobby, and I think that you're talking to everyone.
Oh
So,
yeah.
but now, you can isolate who you communicate with. So that probably minimizes the, social interaction that you can have. Maybe that's a factor as to why I haven't really made any new connections. All my connections are from like well before 2010 and stuff like that. So, but like I know, you have a Discord server, Hurt Locker Gaming, But before that, so just tell me a little bit about your Discord server, how it got started, and like what your server is for at this time, and the type of people that gravitate to your server, and the ones that stay. Like, what type of people are those that stay as well?
Yeah, well, the eccentric ones are the ones that stay. Um, I mean, I started it. Oh God, let's see. I think it was 2014? Like 2014 or 2015 is when I started it. Before then, I was like not dating this person, but like I was seeing this person and they used Discord and they were also like a
Mm,
Twitch streamer and stuff like that. And
okay.
she was telling me about like, oh yeah, this is like way better than using TeamSpeak, which is I had a TeamSpeak server, which is
Okay.
like just voice only, no text. Like you just join it and join different voice chats for different games and whatever. So it's like I wasn't really hosting many games then. I was just all like I had a very popular server to have people like connect and voice talk over like
Hmm.
I think I had like a list of like 80 different games or something, and like I think there was at one point I think there was like about 100 people that were in there just voice chatting,
Okay.
which is a lot
That
for I
is a
feel
hundred
like just
people.
for
Wow.
voice talking. So it's like she's like, oh, this is really cool. Like you can chat and like even before then I used to use this thing called MIRC, which was a program wrapper that you connect to like internet relay chat servers where it's basically like Discord, but you joined their server and would have to ask for a channel, or they would just have channels and like this is where you talked and that's that.
Mm.
And like everybody would just mass chat and like, one giant channel forever. And like I used to do that and like I'm familiar with bots and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, cause there were bots back then. You could like do the match gate ball bot and you could have like file bots where it's like you could connect like, I want a file, what is this? Then it would like send you files and stuff like that.
Mm.
Where like
Mm.
that was before Napster. So people would file
Okay.
share using that kind of
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
so it's like
Mm.
I was familiar with that and I was like, wow, like your own personal IRC server for free, huh? And I'm like, that's interesting. Because almost up until that point, I was still using MIRC. I was still talking on like GameSurge.net and all that with random people, and I had like my own channel or a few channels in there for like different things because I knew
Mm.
the admin that owned one of the Game Surges from, I think was it like this? It wasn't our country. I think it was like the South American Game
Okay.
Surge. So I was like, I knew them, so like they just would give me channels, and I wouldn't have to like I had the power to make whatever I wanted to, basically, kind of. So it's like I was like, oh, that'd be cool to have your own thing, and I'm like, oh, and you can do emojis. It's got all like the modern day chat crap that's in there. So it's like, oh, that's great. So I started one initially, and I was like, oh, I'll just start a new community of things again, whatever. And I started one called socialanxietygaming.com. So it was like more of a niche, like, oh, if you have because I was like I have anxiety, not necessarily social anxiety, but just anxiety in general.
Mm.
And that was I think before I started like taking anti-anxiety meds. So I was like,
Mm.
oh, this
Mm.
might be a good way to meet other people that are like kind of like me.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Mm-hmm.
I met like, a few people through that and like and they stuck with and some of those people like then I formed Hurt Locker Gaming because I wanted to start hosting servers again
Okay.
because I used to I was always hosting servers. I think I've been hosting servers since I was like 15 years old. Like I used to host them either on my same computer and just never turn my computer off and join my own game basically to play, and it was like stuff like Quake or Half-Life or Counter-Strike or Team Fortress Classic, like stuff like that. And
Mm.
and I used to like, I built a really crappy computer that could like run a couple servers and stuff like that for really cheap when I was a kid, or talked my mom into doing that for me. So I like had my own server, so I would invite people to it, and like I ran what were clans back then for like, like FPS games and stuff like that. So it's like I was always into that thing. That was my social. That was my way to be social. So I don't have to leave the
Mm.
house. I can still be social, but I don't have to go anywhere. Mostly because like also I was a kid, I didn't have a car, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right,
and
right.
no
Yeah.
friends lived near me, so I'm like, I gotta find some way to be social. This is really boring and depressing. So it's like I like forming those things, which also I've tried joining other people's things before, and I felt like I'm just like, dude, I could just do this myself and probably better. Not like trying
Okay.
to, not trying to like, tickle my own fancy or whatever,
Yeah, you
but
can
like
boast a little bit, man. That's perfectly fine, man.
I'm just like, I could do this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I could do this. I'm like, I think I have the kind of personality that would be like, oh, he's really fun to talk to, but don't ever cross him. Like, that's like the kind of the thing. Like, that's like, even like playing games today and stuff like that. Like, we were playing golf with friends, I think, on, was it Tuesday? And, Tuesday or, yeah, Tuesday. And, one of the guys that we haven't played with in a while came on and he's a jerk and you can like he was hosting the game and you can have it where you have collisions so you can hit other people's balls.
Mm.
So he was purposefully like hitting other people like off course so they would have to start somewhere else. And that was Tuesday. That was the day after like I had like my vertigo thing, so I wasn't really feeling it.
I actually tuned in. I saw a little bit of that
Oh, yeah.
gameplay. Yeah,
Did you?
looked fun, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did that, and I was like, don't you ever do that again. I'm serious. Like I wasn't like I didn't even say I'm like, don't you ever do that again. And he was like, oh, I mean, I was just kidding. I'm like, I really don't care. It was like one of those things where like everybody like loves me, and then when they do something that I don't like and I've warned them like, don't do that. I'm like, I just want to play the game. I'm not about playing the game that way. And because we've
Hmm.
kicked him before because he was just being annoying.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, daddy's angry. You know what I mean? That's how they all. I feel like they do that. Daddy's mad. Don't make daddy mad. Like 'cause daddy will yell at you, and you don't like that. But I think it's one of those things. Like I feel like I'm a good judge of character. I can pick the right people to help me with that aren't. They're still themselves, and they're just like kind of a loose cannon, which I do like. Where it's like, all right, he's gonna go wild right now on you, but
Okay.
but you know what I mean? They're not like offensive, they're not racist or
Hmm.
bigoted or sexist or anything like that. They're just
Hmm.
like, they stand their ground and their opinion. They're like very strong about their beliefs, which I too am very strong about my beliefs, any belief that I have because it's mine. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like I like that they can voice the fact that like, yeah, I stand strong in what I say. It's very true in what I say. I don't deviate from who I am. So it's like I like surrounding myself with people that are strong like that.
Okay.
So it's like we can still have fun and stuff, but it's kind of like don't make daddy mad. Like we still have that like don't make papa angry kind of thing. So it's like I feel like I can surround myself with people that I would more or less get along with, and then hopefully those people have the same kind of heart in the
Mm,
vision that I have, so they'll
okay.
do it too. And I've noticed the more that, and I know I kind of deviated from the question like of the
No, no, no. This is good.
whatever, but it's like I miss you. It's just, it's nice that's like people that you don't necessarily live nearby that you can't like go out and physically touch, like they have your
Mm,
back and they feel your vision, you know what I mean? And they're just like they want to do the thing that you're doing too, and it's just like I'll listen to your ideas and like we'll come to votes like grown-ups would kind of thing, like and talk things over about like, all right, so you think we need a change or you think we should do this, why do you want to do that? And then we'll all sit around and talk about it like, all right, let's try that kind of thing. So it's like I wouldn't say like I like doing my own things because I'm gonna control every aspect of it. Like I like listening to what people have ideas because it might be something that I'm blind to, or I'm just
mm,
like, oh well, doy, like why didn't I see that kind of thing? You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? But and some of that stuff works out really great, and like the reason why there's been a lot of people is because all the people that are like in my little my little tight knit bubble of people I've known for 10 plus years and stuff like that. I think more of the better friends I've met within like the last three to
Okay.
five, I think.
All right.
But there's like the people that I've known for like 25 years and stuff like that. 20, yeah, I've known Dustin for 25 years. Um, And there's
Wow.
like 3 people in there that I've known for about that amount of time since I was like between the ages of 11 and 13. It's like they're in there and they hang out. They don't. So one of them doesn't chat very often, but they'll like PM me and stuff like that.
Mm.
So it's like they'll be there, and it's kind of like they're old school like me, where in the days of IRC, it was like you would go and idle in somebody's channel for support of what they're doing, not necessarily
Oh,
you
okay.
want to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
add to the conversation, but you'll
Right.
hang out in there just because you support what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that's like 80% of our community. They
Okay.
idle there because they support what we're doing in some random way. Either it's they played at a server that I hosted once and like, they think that we're decent folk or whatever, so they just kind of stick around, but every now and again they'll like drop a message and it's just like, oh my God, hey, whoa, what's going on? I haven't seen you message in like, what do the logs say? 6 months, dude. What's up? What are you doing? So it's like, it's fun to see people that are like, they don't participate like that, participating.
Hmm.
Because then it's all like, I got you. Like now I got you. Like, now you're gonna chat. Like I finally got you. You can participate. But
Mm.
and it's not like one of those things like I'm gonna rope you in for like a nowhere ride or whatever. It's like if you're like you like to talk and you have a lot to say, like the people that just like I don't. There's not a lot of people there that just like to talk to hear their own voice. They just have a lot of thoughts. You know what I mean? And they'll
Mm.
just express a lot of things, which I like. And it's like I like the fact that at this point there's a community of people that aren't like coming through my Discord spamming child pornography or something,
Oh
or like,
man.
because that happened a bunch, or people
Immediate
coming through there and
ban.
like, yeah, like,
Immediate
or people
kick.
coming through there and
Report.
like spamming
Everything.
like racial slurs, and it's just
Yeah.
like,
No.
are you seeking
Mm-mm.
attention, little boy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I see it. But it's
You
like
gotta
it's good that
go.
like the people that come through now are decent people, like normal people. They'll just be like, hey, what's going on? Like, hey, you want to play a game or something? Yeah, sure. Like, it's just one of those things, like, real nonchalant. Like, there shouldn't be any reason that we have to dramatize, like, wanting to socialize or hang out or do something.
Are most of the members like? Do you capture data on ages?
Yeah, if they do, like, if they go into the roles channel and they'll choose, like,
Oh,
their age
okay.
range, like, that's
Yeah.
how I can see, like, how many people have rolled through that have clicked on it.
And what's
I mean,
the most common age?
here, let's see. I'll look at it right now. I
Because
want to say it's, like, 20, I feel like.
I was doing some research, and the average age of a gamer is 34 years old in
Is that right?
America. Yeah, yeah, in America, the average age of a gamer is 34 years old, man. And there's over 2 billion gamers out of what, the 7 billion people in the world. That's a lot of people. That's a huge percentage, man.
So it's like, for instance, on here, right? A lot of people that have rolled through that have clicked on the emoji, they're between the ages of 16 and 21. And then the
Really?
second highest is between the ages of 22 and 27.
Wow. So you have a younger demographic.
I think a lot
Okay.
of young kids or younger people use Discord because they can talk on their phone.
Okay. Okay.
So that
Okay.
makes a lot of sense to me because if I look at the data analytics for like what devices people are accessing, it's like 35% is mobile.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So it's
Okay.
just like, well, I don't, whatever. Like it's one of those things where it's like they won't really chat. Like they can't sit down at a computer more. Like if they could, they would, but they can't. So like they'll chat and play mobile games and try to get you to play mobile games with them, which I'm just
Okay.
like, that is not my life journey. I do not like mobile games. Not that
Oh.
I, not that
Okay.
I like hate them like they're pointless or whatever, but I feel like I don't know. It's like if I don't, it's not immersive for me. Like doing this, like, huh? Like, you know what I mean? Like if I want to do, that's why like I got this thing.
Yeah.
Like this, literally, this is why I play my games on. Like I
Hmm.
like things that are specific, and that's weird, right? Because I'll say that I like PC because that's an all-encompassing window, which is how I see it. It's the utility to get other things, but I'm weird in the aspect where like I like a computer for giving me everything, but I want devices that do one thing for me. Because I want to pay all of my attention to that one thing that I'm doing. I don't
Okay.
want to divide my attention. Like on a computer, my
Mm-hmm.
attention is like divided on like what
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at three screens, two of which have both of our pictures in it. And
Right.
then one Streamlabs, and there's Discord, then there's, Zoom, and then over there's I
Yeah.
have Chrome, and then I have
Yeah.
like also my notes open from the thing that we were talking about, and then I have like
Right.
my temperature gauge and like percentage gauge on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my
Mm-hmm.
attention is everywhere. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
where
Right.
where this is all I got to do is be like, go here, click on game, start game, and like all I got to do is just pay attention to this. I don't have to be like, email from work, someone texted me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the problem nowadays, right? Is just that console gamers. I think that's why people like console, because it's like, this is what I do. I'm just gaming. Where it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
focus 100%
Possible.
on gaming unless I'm streaming, I guess. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna entertain right now or whatever or something. So it's like, I'll do that, but more or less like I sit kind of and just gaze into the wonder that is the internet for the most part. You know what I mean? It's like I'm
Yeah.
not. Because sometimes my wife will just be like, "Oh, what were you playing?" I was just like staring into the computer screen. Like I wasn't playing anything. I'm just like looking at all my windows and like reading like, like I'll do like several different articles, right? And I'll just like read one, then read another one, then read that, then look over and look at that thing and like watch my servers and stuff like that. So it's kind of like it becomes a command center. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're an observer. You're surveying like your world, basically. That's how I think of it. And sometimes I don't want to survey my world and I just want to focus on one thing, but I like the fact that I can survey my world and play a computer game, more or less because it's more immersive to me. The graphics, right? You get like, you built your computer, right? You wanted to
Mm-hmm.
set your computer to immerse yourself to like, wow, this is like, I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I want to play. Where it's like, and it's weird though, because I could have a bunch of stuff open on my computer and then just be staring at, my main screen because it's like I'll try to make that the largest one. So it's like that. This is you're the one, baby, and these are the other ones just for information and passive looking at, right? So it's like, I have, and the curved monitor for whatever reason, I don't know if you feel the same way though, but it's like, it feels like it's wrapping around my head. You know
I
what I mean?
don't.
When
I
it's
don't have a
actually not.
curved monitor.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
get the curved one.
No, I didn't,
Oh, I
man. It
thought you
was.
did. Oh,
No,
never
I
mind.
got
All
a
right.
flat Dell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
If
thinking
you
about it
do,
though.
if you do, it kind of feels that way because, how the eye looked is curved, whereas,
Mm-hmm.
when you're looking at a flat thing, it reminds you of a book. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
how I think of it. A book that moves and is bright. Like for this though, it's like if I sit in a certain angle, like it feels like the picture is going around my face. But it's like I literally, if I sit right here, I know that there's stuff going on, but it's like this is all I see now. It's really weird.
Okay. It takes advantage of your peripheral vision. It sounds like.
Yeah, and I think just because I have, garbage vision, like I've got glasses and stuff, it's like my peripheral's not that great because it's blurry out on the side. I can see movement. I'm like what is it? I'm like what? I can't forget. Is it a shark that has terrible vision, but they go off a smell?
I'm not
That's
sure,
what it is. I
man.
can't remember. It was like there's something where it's like, or a cat. That's a cat. They have terrible faraway vision, but they can notice movements in shadow and light. Like
Mm.
that's their thing. And for me, it's like shadow and light. Like I can't see it, but I'm like, who's there? Like I can literally, like I'll tell my wife is moving or the cat jumped, but I can't see them. But it's like a shadow and energy thing. I don't know. That's for
Oh
another
man.
podcast. Talk about talking
Yeah.
about energy and not seeing it but feeling it.
All right. Well, let me ask this next question. Like, what are some of your biggest gripes with gaming, like in games in general, right now?
Oh, I wrote this down because it was like hot on my mind at the moment. What did I say to that? Oh, I said oh, look at shiny fodder, cough cyberpunk. Sorry, I'm not good.
Oh
I don't
man,
mean to and what was the other game that was like that? Uh,
Anthem.
yeah, Anthem was like that. And they seem to just like stopped caring about Anthem. But at least in Cyberpunk though, props to them, they fixed pretty much almost all of the issues that they
Hmm.
were having. So they did their part. It's just most developers do that. They're just like, whatever, it's screwed up. There's what's the other one? I can't remember. It's the space game where you like go out in space and you
Oh,
planets. But that was ooh,
it's
look at shiny
hey,
fodder.
no, that game. I
It's
haven't
better now.
played it, yeah, but I heard
Way
that
better
game
now.
is outstanding now,
I
man.
have it,
I
but I
forgot
can't remember the name of
what
it.
it's called. I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, when it
Yeah.
first came out, it was just like, this is your game. And I was like, this is nothing that you showed that it had in it. That was
Mm.
not, they were like, "No, this is actual game footage." I'm like, you guys are a bunch of liars. Like, that's where, or what is it? The other one was, I saying it was the DLC add-ons that make no sense and just make the game more annoying. And
Mm.
pointless grinding for unnecessary or useless items that don't add anything to the gameplay. How many games can you name that you've played like that, where you grind, 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 grind? It's like, congratulations, you have wood armor now. That only took you a month, and you're just like, die! Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like, I'm not playing this again. And then you go back and play some more because secretly you're masochistic.
Yeah.
Uh, and then let's see, what's the other one? Oh, the open world games with no point to play, no interesting in-game options. Where it's
Okay.
kind of like,
Okay.
here's your
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
creative in it, where it's like sometimes that's fun, but it's just like, come on, you gotta add some stuff. Or if like, there's a lot of those games that I played, like just the crafting building games,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like you can't even really mod for the game and or host it really. You know what I mean? Like there's no other options for you to make it any better. But
Mm.
like over time people have done it where like the hype is gone, but then it's like you've got like your die-hard fans that just love that game and they want to keep playing it even though it's complete trash. And then it's the replay replayability rate is horrible nowadays.
Okay. I can agree. I agree.
Where I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
because I'm just thinking in my mind like I bought that little Android device so I could play Super Nintendo and N64 games again. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like games that came out in the 90s and like late 80s and stuff like that still have playability, and like a
Mm-hmm.
game that like like
Mm-hmm.
Doom Eternal, like why would you play that again? You know what I mean? Like to get all the achievements. That's kind of the thing where it's like that would the only reason why they have all those crazy or insane achievements are for Let's Players. Let's just be real. Let's
Mm.
just say what it is. They add those things in there so people could stream their game online, and then they could be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, look how crazy hard this is." It's just like, oh, you just put that there, so it's just fodder for a game that's like is not good. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's just like I know you're trying so hard, but you're not really selling me on it. And oh, asset stealing and broken game mechanics, aka alpha testing. Where
Okay.
it's like, oh, this
Okay.
is an alpha, this is in beta, and it's just like you've been in beta for 7 years. Like, you know what I mean? When are you gonna release your game? And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the thing where it's like if they release it and they're on things like, because this is mostly a Steam thing, is if they release it and you're not in alpha anymore, that means your game can get refunded.
Really?
Yeah, so if you have an alpha game and it warns you that this is an alpha, this is pre-beta, this is pre-alpha, whatever they're saying, and it's like, the game has issues, deal with it, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and you play your under 2 hours of that game, you can't get that game refunded.
Wow. Okay.
So they stay in alpha forever, so when people buy their game after being out for so long, and they're just like, damn it, this is exactly what people warned me about. And now you got that game sitting in your library that you can't get rid of unless you want to release the Steam key from your library and then try and resell it on like G2A or like
Mm-hmm.
Green Man Gaming or something like that.
Okay. Well, what's your kind of along that line? What's your take on like early releases of games? I've been waiting on Baldur's Gate 3, and right
Yeah.
now it's out on early release, and you can
My
play, I guess.
my friend just downloaded the torrent.
Oh, okay.
He posted a screenshot in Discord, and we have a private channel where
Okay.
you could, show things that you probably shouldn't show people, like in the regular channels, or it's stuff like that. Like I'm doing illegal things right now.
Yeah.
But like he sent a picture of he's downloading Baldur's Gate 3, and it was like 95% done.
Mm. So
So
what's
it's
your
on his
take on that?
FTP, and I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So what's your take on early releases? Like, I get, to me that it kind of makes sense, but I can see how people can not like that as well. Like
Yeah. Well, it
if
gets abused, I think. The
if you
alpha term gets abused, so they don't lose money. They don't lose profit on their bad game.
mm, yeah, I like if you're, let's say you're developing a game, it's taking you a long time, people are waiting for it, and then funds become short. As a game developer at that point, like what options do you have other than to release it, get people to buy it, tell them that it's in early development, and then use the funds that you've received from the purchase of the early release to
Make it better to fix what
and
happened.
yeah, and continue the development for the full release. Like to me, that's like what they're doing. At least I hope that's what they're doing.
That's
Um,
the hope, right? That's
yeah,
the
that's the
hope.
hope.
That's the hope that they do that. Because there are other developers that just like take the money and run. They're just like, "Pfft, thanks for the 150,000. Like I wrote that game with three of my buddies and we just split that money and we'll just, go make another crappy alpha game and release
mm,
under a different company name. I mean, there's even like you can
mm.
use RPG Maker.
Okay.
Have you ever
Yeah.
heard that
Yep.
software?
Mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm.
sell that on Steam and you can actually release games you make from RPG Maker on Steam. So it's not like you can't ever be able to release. Then you know what I mean? That would be another thing, right?
Mm.
They release that game saying like, "Oh, I made this in RPG Maker. It's an alpha. It may have funky things and you can't get your money back, but it's $5." Like if it's something like that, I'd be like, "All right." You know what I mean? Like, I'll buy it. Let's see what this is. But
Mm-hmm.
when alpha developers release something and it's like between the price of like 29.99 and higher, you're just like, you're out of your mind. Drop that to 19.99. I'll buy it, or drop it to 9.99. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
between
Yeah. Yeah.
9.99
Mm-hmm.
and 19.99. I'll like 14.99. I think is like a really good middle ground for an alpha or beta released game. That's pretty fair. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's not cheaper than like a garbage game, and it's like double that price, and it would be like a double A title, right? Triple A would
Mm-hmm.
be 59.99 or
Mm-hmm.
higher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's fair. You know what I mean? The companies like that, like like I'm playing right now, like 7 Days to Die, right? It's like that game has been out for what is that? Since 2014, I think, 2013, something like
Okay.
that. Still an alpha, by the way.
Really?
Another one, still an alpha.
Really? Wow.
So it's progressively gotten much better looking over the time.
Wow,
So
man.
it's like the guy puts the effort in, right? And the things actually look good. And it's like, I'll go back and I'll play it, right? Like I'll play that game. And like I hosted a server again and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's if I feel in the mood for like doing those kinds of games, like running from zombies, like doing the adventure running around thing, you know, doing the tower defense, kind of like, oh, you gotta safeguard your place because every 7 days it's gonna be hell for you. Like that stuff is fun to do with friends, extremely frustrating to do by yourself.
Mm.
So it's like, that I'm okay with. An alpha game that's still doing relatively good, and I'm a pretty good stickler about like I hate this thing and I'll explain to you all day long why I hate it versus like, the game like that I'm just all like I have my moments and it's funny because I actually said this to one of my friends in my community. I was just like he was like 7 Days to Die. I thought you vowed like a year and a half ago that you'd never play that again. And I was like, yeah, I did. I said that, didn't I? I really did. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm giving it another shot. It was like the same thing with Arma 3. Like I hosted
Okay.
that server. It's just like, I'll play it for a little bit. And then like now, people will just passively play in it. As long as no one's complaining that things are broken, I'll just keep it running. As long as people playing it, I don't care. But that's kind of the thing, right? It's like with Arma 3, it's like it's a mod. It's the Exile, that's the game that I'm running, it's a mod on top of like the regular game, right? So it's like a lot of those things, those mods and all those things, they're made by teams of people that do it for free, right? They do it because like they like doing that stuff. They like developing and like they like developing and playing games. So it's like, I'll do some of my own development and some will like, a couple of the guys that that are in the elders, right? Like for Arma and stuff like that. Like we'll make missions and we'll like make custom things which we have to like code and do that stuff. And it's like, you know, I don't charge any money for that because it's kind of just like, why charge money for one? Why charge money for a thing that's like, 6 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that game's been out since 2015. It's like it's old. I would never charge for the work that I did. If you want to give me like a donation for like
Mm-hmm.
the hey, nice, I'll take that. I'm not gonna say no if you throw the money at me. Like if you're
Right.
just like if you like shove it in my pockets, you're like, here
Yeah.
you whore. No, it's kidding. But like that I'm okay with. Like if you want to
Mm-hmm.
give me some money, that's fine. I've had a person in there, and I think no, I don't think I told you about that. There's like this drama thing that happened where this guy, it was like him and like four other people that he brought onto the server, and they were playing in the public voice channel, and two of my buddies who are elders went into that channel just to be like, hey, how you guys doing? And they were just all like, if you're not here to play the game, just leave. And they were just like, excuse me? And it's like, we came in here to to talk. And it escalated to this thing, and they ended up moving into I've made like a private since then. I made channels for the
Games,
server.
right? Yeah.
So if
Mm-hmm.
you're in them, like join those and don't join the public if you don't want people to talk over you, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously the term public, look it up in the dictionary. It's not hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, the guy went on this rant and stuff, and I was just like, I fired back with some like nasty thing because I was just like, I don't want to hear your nonsense. Like you're just talking a bunch of BS. Like you were being rude to like two of my friends that like spend money into this community to
Mm-hmm.
like keep it going like I do.
Right.
And then the guy he donated $30 and then had the gall to ask for a refund. And I was like, "Are you out of your mind?" And he posted a complaint to PayPal, and I responded to the PayPal thing. I'm like, he was rude to my staff member after leaving a donation that he wasn't forced to leave. And I was like, and now he wants his money back because we barred him from coming to our establishment. And PayPal was just like, approved, like, and then I literally posted all of that, like with his email and all that stuff in the channel. And he was like, this is highly unprofessional. I was like, you started it, man. I was like, if you just were cool about the fact that you were in a public channel and you weren't rude to like two of my friends that literally helped me run all this stuff, like I wouldn't try to get people to dox you right now. But right now, I don't even care, man. I don't care. And I was like, it was kind of that thing. It's like, you said I was such a nice guy, right? And I was all like, this is when you say something wrong and you've crossed me. Do you see where it is? Like, this is where I don't want to be, but I can go there and I'll happily go there. And like, everybody's like, I can't believe that guy asked for a donation. And it's just like, who does that? Who the hell does that? Eddie. I was rude to somebody. I want my money back. I'm like, okay, Karen, get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, man. So what has it been, like 5 years or so since we started that server
um,
on Discord?
yeah, for social anxiety, that one went from 2015 to 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. And then I got rid of that. So Hurt Locker's been going for like the last 3 years.
Okay, and you're getting members like frequently, new
Yeah, I mean,
members.
like, yeah, I think our fluctuation, like, it varies and stuff like that. It really depends on, if people are inviting other people. There's a bot that's in there called Disboard, and
Okay,
basically what it is, it's like you sign up for this website and stuff like this, and it lists like all these Discord servers and everything. If you have the bot in your channel and you type in like it's like something bump or whatever, and like it'll be like, oh, bumped your channel to like the active list of channels that are channel bumped your server to the active list of servers that are in this criteria of whatever you've hashtagged, right? So I hashtag like 7 Days to Die, Arma 3, Space Engineers, and Factorio. Like those are the four things that I tagged. And so it's like if you bump it, it'll bump it to the top of the list. And usually, the amount of people that are on the server, like around 300 people online at one time. So it's like of course, people look at that like, oh, there's a bunch of people in that server, and they'll just join it. So it's like I
Mm-hmm.
get off of that, I get it from my website
Mm-hmm.
SEO, I get it from, people sending the invite thing. Like in Discord, I'll show you on yours too. When you send invites to people, there's a list of all the invite links that you sent and how many times people have came to that link.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
Mm.
like, I mean, before we had, I think like 800 some odd people or whatever, and then just almost 900 or whatever. And well, I think it was like, I don't know, there were 200, yeah, there were 250 of those people that never talked ever or never came online. So we did like a huge purge after
Mm-hmm.
2 years of like having the server up and be like, all right, we're just gonna purge a bunch of members and start fresh again, see where, the numbers come back up. So I think we
Mm.
ended at like 898 people, and then we kicked all down to 500 members. And so now we're back up to like 660 or something like that.
So what would have happened if I'm just thinking because like what is it to become a public, not a public server, but
Oh, you're
um
talking about the partnership and all that
yeah,
stuff?
what is it like 1,000 members? Like, wouldn't it
Yeah,
have been
you
more
have to have.
beneficial to wait until you hit 1,000, applied for the partnership, and then?
Well, the partnership only requires 500 now.
Oh, okay,
So they
okay, okay,
dropped it.
okay.
So
All
that's good. The one that requires, oh God, what is it? To be a public one, it requires that there's 10,000,
right.
five
Okay.
or 10,000, it's something like that. I can't remember, but 5 or 10,000,
Oh
that's the
man, that
requirement
just seems
for
chaotic to
oh,
me, man.
exploration. That's what it is. So you can actually
Okay,
explore servers without knowing the link to get to it. You could just see it there.
okay,
So yeah,
okay.
you
All
have to
right.
have like 10,000 or 5,000 some odd people.
Okay.
And you have to meet other requirements like, you know, can't have like curse words in your channels, can't have the word porn in it,
Mm-hmm.
can't you need to have like a certain percentage of people joining your
Okay.
server
Okay.
per week, no, per month, and then you have to
Okay.
have a certain
Mm.
number of retention of those people that have joined within that month. So
Mm.
it's dumb. It's like I qualified, and then by the time they got around to reviewing mine, they reviewed the current live data, and it didn't qualify anymore, which irritated the hell out of me.
Oh wow, man.
And I was
Well,
like, you
you
should have
know,
looked at it when it was qualifying.
well, you know, I know that you're definitely gonna get there, man. So it's coming up on almost an hour or so. I'm gonna ask you this last question, man. Like, what games are you playing now? Like right now, like what games are like heavy on your radar?
So right now I've been playing a lot of Left 4 Dead 2.
Modded, right?
Yeah, the modded
Yeah,
one.
I saw you like using a health pack that was like a apple or something. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
or a
it was.
heart or something. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was the animated heart shiny thing. That was like the health pack, and then you had
Yeah.
like the needle, the adrenaline needle was a Red Bull or whatever. It's like I
Yeah.
picked a bunch of like different funny things, and that's just fun to play with my friends. Like now we've just gravitated back to see that's another game. Came out a long time ago, not that long
Mm,
ago, but long
mm.
enough ago. It's like 2005, 3, whenever it came out.
You
Still
get?
real great playability.
Are you gonna get Back for Blood in June?
If I if that other game doesn't come out, the Warhammer one, the one I showed
Oh
you,
man, that game. Okay, all right. Yeah, that game looks
it
awesome, man.
looks really great. Like
It
that's why
really
I'm just like,
does.
ooh, look at those shiny graphics. I need to
Dark
be
Tide,
prepared for
right?
that one.
Yeah, that game looks really good, man. But I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Like, what else are you playing right now?
yeah. So like Left 4 Dead 2, playing Vermintide 2, the Warhammer one.
Hmm.
Yeah, you should play it maybe on the weekend or something. We could
I
try it together.
haven't. I might have downloaded it. I'm down. Yeah, we can play this
Yeah,
weekend for sure. Yeah.
and then golf with your friends. I was playing a lot because there's like so many. You can make your own custom courses. So if you were like really into doing that, you could make a course to like piss off all your friends. Be like, oh, let's just make this extremely super hard course that I just made. And we've been playing those and downloading like the frustrate you to hell ones. So like all of them are hole-in-ones, or there's like one hole in the
Uh,
entire map and you have to like get there by doing a bunch of hops and random stuff. Green Hell. I think you've seen
I
me play
sung a
that
little
once
bit of that.
before, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
survival,
on
right?
sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
7 Days to Die. Parkitect. Did I show you that?
Yeah,
Tell you about that one?
you told me about it. I haven't seen you play it though,
Yeah,
but
I'll
you
have to
did tell
stream
me
it
about it.
sometime.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just play with the mod, so I have a bunch of money, so I can just like build to my heart's content, basically.
Hmm.
You can play that multiplayer, which is fun. So I've been playing that with my wife off and on. And we got to start a new park because like we learned a bunch of things after
Oh, you want
watching
to
some
start
videos.
over?
So it's just
Okay.
like we should start over with a completely flat area and then like create it as we want.
Mm-hmm.
And Minecraft, because I'm hosting like a Minecraft server. For a little bit we were playing like my buddy has 2 realmed servers and we were doing like 2 different types of skyblock worlds and stuff like that, which are pretty fun to do with friends, because like when you screw it up you got to start all over again. Like because they give you like there's like a bunch of different ones, but they'll like give you 1 water source block and 1 lava source block, and you have to figure out basically how to like use that throughout the whole course of the game without destroying it, because they don't give you another one. So if you destroy either one of those things, so your game's over. You got to start over again, because you can't, or I mean, you could spawn it in, but it's kind of like you're done. Like the game's done now. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I'm playing right now. Like I wanted to get into what was one of the ones that I was looking at? I wanted to get in. I was playing Phasmophobia a little while back,
Mm.
and I haven't played that in a while. But I wanted to get more into this game that I bought called Distrust. I think I told you about that one, maybe.
Mm-mm.
Where it's
No.
like when you fall asleep, it's like monsters will spawn. Like it gives them
Oh
energy.
yeah, you did. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's one of those,
yeah.
not completely top down, but like sort of like 2D, 3D side top looking. You know what I mean? Like it's not completely top down, but it's kind of at an angle.
Okay.
And you just have one character and you kind of like click to make them move around and do tasks and collect things and then like solve puzzles and then go on
Yeah,
to the
you
next thing.
told me about that.
Like
Yeah.
me and my buddy got to level 4 and there's 6 levels. I'm like, we could do it, dude. We could beat this game. We totally got it. Like all we got to do is just really not sleep. And then you go insane. So like then you'll like end up accidentally killing your partner or something like that. So that's the distrust part. So it's either
Okay.
you can sleep and make the monsters come about. That would be the distrust to screw everybody over. Or the other distrust would be like, don't ever sleep and become crazy and end
Start
up
hallucinating,
hallucinate and like kill your partner because they'll show up as a monster on your screen for you.
huh?
So if and you shoot them and stuff and you'll kill them and you're like, you just killed your partner.
All right, man. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you stream that, man.
Yeah, I
All
gotta
right.
pick a few and then do a couple in like one day or something like that.
All right, man. Like I said, it's been an hour, Rez. So, I do want people that are watching this or those that are gonna watch this, make sure you go check out his Discord server. What did you said? HurtLockerGaming.com, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you? So you have to go there before you even, like, you can't go to the Discord and search. You have to
Yeah.
actually go to HurtLockerGaming.com, right?
Yeah, and I have there's a link in the description below. No, I'm not gonna say that. There's No Man's Sky. That was the game.
That's the game. No
Thank you,
Man's
Rob.
Sky. Yep.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. I
Yeah,
just like
that is
literally
the
looked over
game.
at my chat because I had it blocked, and I just saw my buddy was like, "No Man's Sky." It's No
Yeah,
Man's.
yeah, yeah. Tell them thank you, man, because it was on
Yeah.
the tip of both of our tongue.
I was
Like,
like, "The
yeah, that
hell is that
was.
damn name of that game?" I'm like, "I have it. I bought it." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. I haven't played it, but watching like YouTube videos and I watch reviews and stuff. And it was like, man, this is over like you oversell, and oversell and then underperform, and
Yeah.
it was like that game was just total utter just trash.
I'll I'll
And
be
then
honest though,
later,
I
yeah.
did play it like I think it was like maybe 2 years ago is when I actually decided that I wanted to try it. and I did play it, and it was actually fun. I'm not gonna lie,
Mhm.
like I had fun playing it, but it's like it was kind of one of those things where it's just like, all right, let's drift through space. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of you just go from place to place, then you can go back to wherever you were building your base, then you could do it with your friends or join like someone else's game and like, do it with them or whatever. But like it's a cool concept, but I
Mm.
don't know. I like space games, but like not like that where I'm like, ooh, space. You know what I mean? Like that.
What
I
about
like roaming in like ruined cities and like that's my thing.
Everspace too? Didn't that just
Everspace.
drop?
What is Everspace? I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's I believe it's on Steam, man, and I want to say
Oh,
yeah, it
yeah.
just released.
Oh,
And
they have an
it's getting
Everspace
really
too.
good views, man. From what I'm looking at. Again, I haven't played it. Again, I'm a new PC gamer, man. So I have to
Oh, it's a
pick and
single player
choose what
game.
I play, man.
Yeah, it's like Elite Dangerous a little bit, huh? That's another single player one. Yeah, this is a little bit like Elite Dangerous, it looks like to me. Kind of.
Mm,
You got like different ships and it looks like you can upgrade them and all that. That looks interesting. See, that
yeah,
would be one of those things where it's like I would probably have to be all about this game to like want to play it single player.
yeah, yeah.
Because that looks like
Yeah,
something I would enjoy with a friend, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. I was. That's the exactly what I was thinking, man. If I can if
Oh,
I
it's a
can
great
play
game.
with my friend, I think that I'd be more inclined to purchase it, man. But all right, man. I appreciate your time, Josh. I'm not gonna take up any more of your time. Again, go check out hurtlockergaming.com if you want to join that community. And GamerGab is my Discord server, just getting things started. Josh is really helping me out. So, again, I appreciate your assistance with that, man. And I'm going to go ahead and close this out here. And you can look forward to this going up on YouTube once I edit the video as well, man.
Going up on YouTube, the down there. It's just
Oh
down
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. All right,
Thank you,
man. So
man.
I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna either play some Call of Duty or I don't know what I'm gonna play, man. But I'm gonna play some games, man.
I'm definitely probably gonna play some food in the face.
Okay.
That's gonna be my playtime. And then I don't know. I
Yeah.
might get back to 7 days today and finish up the gigantic trench that I was making to stop the zombies.
Okay. Are you gonna stream?
I could do it. I could stream it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll jump in, man, and I'll check out your stream and see if you can survive, man.
Yeah, I feel like the seventh day already just went. Actually, let me look. I bet you it did just go by.
So what is it? Every 7 day is when the horde comes. So
Oh, it's
you're
one
like
more day.
just building. So you're just building up to prepare for that 7 day. Is that what it is? I've
Yeah, and
never played it.
I've missed a bunch. So it's on. Yeah, it's every 7 days, and it's about to be the 42nd day. So that's gonna be the
Wow,
next
man.
seventh
So
day. Yeah,
wow,
I've missed a lot of them.
wow.
I was only there for like one or two, and then like, well, one people will play, the server doesn't pause. So people have been playing so frequently on there that it's like do 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 do.
That's actually pretty cool, man. That's
That's the
actually
only
pretty
thing,
cool.
right? That's what makes it
Mm.
hard when I host a bunch of servers. It's like I end up being left behind on my own server because more people will play there more than me. So they end up just kind of playing off of what I've been making kind of thing. And it's like I'll come back and I'm like, holy crap, it's day 100? Like, what the hell is going on? I've missed a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I've missed so much.
Well, you're putting in most of the behind the scenes work, so you need to tell them to keep you protected when you do play, man.
Oh no, I do like I'll have a room upstairs that just like it has four pillars and each pillar just has like chests just spiraled around them.
Mm.
So like I'll just like drop a bunch of like loot that's hard to get or just like things that you can't make in the game and just drop them in random chests. So I was like, well, if you go upstairs and look at the chest, I bet you'll find something you might like. I just put like a
Oh
four by
man.
four Jeep upstairs in the attic. I'm like, cause that's where you keep Jeeps. But you can pick it up. Like you can pick it up as an item and put it into your inventory, but it's like this big Jeep just sitting in the attic. Cause that's where they belong. That's where all Jeeps go. Not in the garage.
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, man. And Josh, I do once again appreciate your time. Everybody, go check out hurtlockergaming.com. And Josh is a really good guy, and I am a part of his community. and I see all the communications, man, and I try to jump in from time to time, man. But I just don't want to. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't want to encroach, but I know that
What? That's the
I
whole
know,
point.
yeah,
Just
that's
insert yourself. You're like,
yeah,
"What's up,
yeah,
fools?" And they're just
yeah.
like, "Who's this guy?" And then that's how you start talking.
Yeah, yeah. So I got to jump in there, man. And but I will, if you have room, man, let me know, man. I'll jump on some Vermintide with you all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my buddy Rob that's in my Twitch stream right now. Yeah, it's me, him, and our buddy Vlad the Impaler, a good name. That's
Yeah. Hmm.
in our Discord. Me and him and Vlad and Adam, like we usually play, or Simple Guy will play. So it's like, yeah, we could do probably. I would say it's best to play with Vlad and Dope because they know exactly where all the grimoires are and all like the tomes and everything.
Mm,
Versus
okay.
like Adam is good for just like, being enemy fodder, and then and Simple Guy is good for just like rushing the entire thing and not waiting for anybody. So I like
Okay.
playing with the both of them because like we'll actually find all the secrets. Because
All
they'll
right.
have, the website up on their thing being like, all right, so yeah, we gotta go find the twice built windmill. We gotta go look at it should be like along like red bushes. You know what I mean? Like something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
so if you want a
Yeah.
completionist type of the game and like play it the hardest way possible, then yeah, totally play it.
Yeah. One of my friends, man, that I usually play with, he was actually on my very first episode of the podcast. And he's a completionist, man, and he like the last game that we like really did something that was pretty difficult was Divinity 2. We
Oh
actually
yeah.
played it. We played Divinity 2 on Tactician mode, which is above hard. It's like the most difficult mode that you can play on, and Honor mode. And Honor mode is if you party wipe, your game is erased. And so we played it on the hardest difficulty and on Honor mode, and we pretty much ran through the game, man. And I wish that we played it on PC though, because I was we played it on Xbox, but on PC, man, it just looks so much better, man. So I'm
I
trying to
wonder if
get him
Divinity
to.
has a workshop on Steam. See, that's the one thing that you miss out on, right? On the when you do only consoles. Because like you'll get all these like extra things that it allows the community to do, like making workshop content and stuff like that. So you can like download add-ons for like a game that you already have, like all the mods and stuff for
Mm,
Left 4 Dead. You could, I don't think Vermintide. It's like some of them don't really have like the game really doesn't let you add stuff on, but like most games on Steam, they'll have like a lot of workshop content, and a lot of it's not too terrible. Like it makes the game a little bit more interesting, I guess. But yeah, you
mm-hmm,
wouldn't be able to
mm,
get that on the console, right? There's no way it would be like, oh, I'm
yeah,
just DLCs, yes, right? Because
yeah,
it's
that's it.
technically it's still part of the game. When they release the full game and then like some add-ons, like they're already in the game. And even when they do the new update, which is true because they do that with Destiny, all of that content, it's already there. You don't have to buy it. You just got to buy that license. And they'll be like, now you
Mm,
can go there,
mm,
but it's been
mm,
there the whole
mm,
time. They're like, because when people will
mm,
go like, oh, this game's been out forever, and it's like they've only really added 10 gigs onto their game within the last 15 years, and it's like, or 5 years or whatever. And you go, yeah, because the whole game was always there. That's the thing. The game was always there, and they put all of it in for you to download that 100 gigs worth of a game, and you're like, this is the only area I got. It's like, oh no,
mm-hmm,
there's more areas, they just haven't released them to you yet.
mm-hmm,
That's
yeah.
how it's like, big game, wow, it's like this whole world. It's like, yeah, a whole world you can't get to unless you pay that extra 9.99, or oh, that dreaded 29.99 for that big DLC update.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not a
yeah.
hater. I don't say what anybody, I
No,
don't
you're
know what
not.
anybody's.
Next time we'll talk about how games used to be released, like the full
Yeah.
game used to be
They give
released.
you, yeah, they give you a whole new game. And you'd feel
Hmm.
good about that. You're like, wow, I got another game. But it's like, no, it's just an add-on to that game. But it
Yeah,
feels like it's a
yeah.
new
Back in
game.
the day, you used to have the full game.
Yeah.
Now they piece it out, man, little by little, just to get as much money as they can. So I'm gonna shut us down, man. But I'd love to talk to the gentleman that's on your stream as well, man, and or have you three of your community members and elders come, man, and just talk about games, man. That's all this podcast is about, man. It's
You're
just
giving him too much
gamers,
credit. I don't
man.
know how much of a gentleman he is, but yeah, I mean
Oh,
that's
that's all
say
right,
something.
man. That's all right, man. Yeah,
I
well,
can be.
yeah.
I can be, he
Yeah,
says.
yeah. All right, Josh, man. Again, Rez Hurt Locker Gaming. Go check him out. Go join his Discord. He's hosting servers for a few different games. Very interactive community. And if you have questions, I'm sure that he and his team will be more than willing to help you out.